Hi everyone, this is Sarah with taxmanforyou.com with a video about marriage and taxes. Now, if you have just been married or are thinking about getting married or are going to be married pretty soon, this is the video for you. There are a couple of things that you want to keep in mind when you are getting married and doing your taxes. One, of course, is to check your withholding, because when you are single, you are going to be paying taxes at a single rate. When you get married, you change to a whole different system of paying taxes, and in some cases that can be great for you. In some cases that can really ruin your withholding calculations, and then you might owe a bunch of tax at the end of the year. So depending on where you and your spouse fall in the tax tables, you may have to talk to a tax professional to find out if you need to raise your withholding, lower your withholding, or keep it the same. If you are working and your spouse is not working, if one spouse works and the other does not, then you probably will be in an even better situation come tax time. Remember that your marital status on the last day of the year is what you are for the entire year. So many people who get married late in the year feel like, well, I was single most of the year, so, I'll just file married for part of the year. But that's not how it works. You're either married or you're single, and it's determined by what your status was at 11:59 p.m. on December 31st. That is what your marital status was for the entire year. So if you get married on the 31st of December, you are married all year for tax purposes. So just keep that in mind. Another thing that can really hamper your filing, if you are married and are changing your name, there are quite a few problems you can run into, mostly because the IRS checks with Social Security records to check and see if your last name matches that on your Social Security card. So if you have not changed your name with Social Security, do not change your name on your tax return. What is on your tax return needs to match what's on your Social Security card. Okay, so if you have not changed your name yet, you do need to file with your previous last name, even if you've changed it everywhere else. If you have not changed it with Social Security, you have also not changed it for tax purposes on your IRS forms, and you will need to file with your old name. Now, if you file and the name does not match, your tax return is likely to be rejected and will be sent back, and you'll get a letter saying, we don't think that you deserve your refund because you are not who you say you are. So do keep that in mind. If it's close to the time you're ready to file tomorrow, don't change your name today and then file tomorrow with the new name, because it does take some time for Social Security to update their records, and then for the Social Security office to make sure that the IRS is updated. So if you are thinking about changing your name and you're doing your taxes now, hold off on changing your name with Social Security until your filing is complete, and that will make the process go as smoothly as possible. There is another option for married taxpayers. They can file married filing jointly and report all of their income on one return and be treated as one entity by the IRS. Or you can file married filing separately and be treated and do two different tax returns and be treated as two separate accounts with the IRS. And that is something that you do need to talk to a tax professional about. Most of the time, I do recommend that people file jointly, unless for some reason they're covering themselves for their spouse's mistake or something that's happened previous to marriage. Also, you want to know that if you have any children that you've adopted, those last names also need to match their Social Security number. So please do remember to do that as well with Social Security. And make sure that if their last names have not been changed, they also, for ease of filing, need to be the old names until you get those legally changed with the Social Security Administration. I also want to talk just for real quick about same-sex marriage and domestic partner tax issues. You'll notice I'm reading from our tax guide because this is emerging tax law, and so this is constantly changing. But as of January 21st, 2010, which is the date of this video, if you are recognized legally in the state that you are in, federal law still does not recognize you as married filing jointly for tax purposes. And that came into effect during 1996 with the Defense of Marriage Act. And regardless of your marital status in your state, the federal government only recognizes a legal union between one man and one woman as husband and wife. And so therefore federal agencies cannot recognize any marriage other than one entered into between a man and woman as husband and wife. So the IRS is not allowed to recognize same-sex marriages or domestic partnerships as married individuals for tax purposes. In some states where you are allowed to be married or have a domestic partnership of the same sex, often you can file jointly in those states, so please do check with someone, but you will be required to file as single on your federal tax return as of right now, and that'll be interesting to see how that changes in future years. Anyway, this has been Sarah with taxmanforyou.com. If you have any requests for videos that we do here on this channel, please do leave me a comment below, and be sure and rate this video if you really liked it, and subscribe so that you can see all of our videos as soon as they are posted here on YouTube. You guys have a really great day.